What's up, guys? Jake Hoback Knives here for another New Knife Wednesday. So, we're gonna dive into a knife that I've been pretty excited to show you, the Sumo. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jake Hoback. Obviously, I just said that. Not sure why you're watching this channel if you don't know who I am, because I'm only internet famous for knives. At any rate, I've been making knives for the last 20 years. Try to do a pretty bang up job with it. Collaborate with the best in the market. I mastermind with the smartest people that I could possibly find on the face of the earth. And I have been machining parts for quite a long time and making knives for about 20 years, like I said. I've done everything from building turbine engines and rock racing chassis to machining aerospace parts and different knives for the military and pokey objects for those guys, and making high quality flipping knives, folders, button locks, autos, fixed blades, axes, swords, you name it. If it's pointy and sharp, I've probably made something. So yeah, enough about me. Let's dive into the Sumo. The Sumo has been one that I've been working on for quite a while. I've done a couple of prototypes now, just dialing in this whole process because this is a new locking mechanism for me to a degree. Now I say to a degree because I've done button locks before. We did an auto run. We did the Tradecraft. That's our mid-size Quayback switchblade and out the side. And then we've also done a couple of full-size Quayback out the side spring lock or button lock switchblades. And so I'm not unfamiliar with the button lock mechanism. It's pretty easy once you get the information gathered that you need to make that mechanism. It's not terribly difficult. I've even come up with some redesigned buttons that are stronger than the typical buttons that you find on most stuff. That way, you're not breaking the buttons off. But what was different about this is making a button lock flipper. That's very challenging. So a couple years ago, I talked to Brian Ty. If you don't know who he is, I don't have a clue how you even found my videos because Brian's way more popular than I am. And he's an awesome knife maker, probably way better than I'll ever be. He's very artistic. So kudos to Brian Ty. He does an amazing job with this stuff. And he does a button lock flipper. And typically he's got a table next to us at Blade Show, both West Coast and East Coast. So, I'm constantly chatting up Brian. And, he had a button lock flipper. And I'm like, dude, Brian, this is awesome. Like, how's this work? He's like, and he showed me how it worked. And he kind of gave me some information on it. And I was like, dude, okay. So definitely giving Brian a shout out because he got me down this whole path of making a button lock flipper. Now, upsides. Upsides is button lock is way better than a leaf lock, in my personal opinion. It's way stronger. It's a way simpler mechanism to nail down, and it's also a little more user friendly in that you don't have to put your finger in the way of the blade when you're closing it. It's obviously stronger. There's a big old barrel sticking out behind the blade that is just going to absolutely prevent it from dropping in. That's not to say that I am not a fan of the leaf lock. Been using it for quite a number of years. It works really well. It flips awesome. Downsides to the button lock. It doesn't flip the same way, a button lock flipper, I should say. Does not flip the same way that you expect a leaf lock flipper to fly out of the handle. So there's some LOT that I've got to go over with that, some logical order of thinking, give you guys a rundown on how that works, and what you should expect from a button lock flipper. They don't just come out like a, like our prototype sliver here. This is just got our typical, it's a leaf lock, it's got our HRD in it, and comes out like greased lightning. That's just typically how they work. You can get a lot more leverage with a separated detent from the locking mechanism, to a degree, than you can with a button lock flipper. So what ends up happening is everything in life is compromise. If you haven't figured that out, you will eventually. So they do require just the ever so slight amount of wrist action to open a button lock flipper, just because one, we wanted to go with a very small flipper tab on this so that it was not obtrusive at all, and it almost practically disappears when the knife is open. But also, we have multiple opening mechanisms for this knife. I'm pretty stoked about this knife because it's such a neat system that I've managed to pack into this pretty cool little blade. So let's dive into it. I'll give you a quick look. And if you guys follow us on Instagram, which you should be, you've already seen a real quick picture of this knife, a quick video I should say, and you guys have seen the CAD renderings and stuff like this. We've gone through a few iterations. The overall design itself has not changed, but what has changed is how it works and functions and everything like that. So the first prototype we did ended up actually being locked in the closed position. Did not work exactly the way I anticipated, mostly due to miscommunication on my part with the machine shop, but managed to nail that down. But the mechanism itself worked flawlessly. So we went from that to this, where you can thumb open it, you can flip it, or if you feel so inclined to not scare everyone around you, you can slow roll it. You can slow roll it with either the thumb stud or the pocket in the blade. I like the pocket in the blade because you can really control it by putting your thumb right up against the bottom edge of the pocket, and you can just slow roll it open. You don't scare anybody because some people are kind of skittish and they need to put on their man panties. But flicks open really nice with the thumb stud as intended. The flipper tab just requires a little bit more action. One of the kind of the trade-offs with the button lock is that you can't make the opening position super duper like steep. Otherwise, you might be able to flick it open pretty easily, but then you won't be able to thumb stud open it as easily. So it's not to say that it's like gonna just flip open in your pocket. We have definitely kept that into consideration. I don't want weak detent syndrome, as it's been eloquently put to me oftentimes. But this does have a hidden little gem of a way to open this. And first and foremost, I'll show you, and then I'm going to give you kind of the ins and outs of this. I actually, some of the best mistakes in knife making end up being some of the coolest features. And this was one of those not quite anticipated, but I like slightly expected this. Like, okay, if you have large thumb studs on a knife, sometimes this happens inadvertently. So I've set it up in such a way that at least it works as best as possible with the setup. So I'm going to give some credit where credit's due. Ernie Emerson Knives has got the wave feature. Absolutely phenomenal. Really cool feature. I think it started out as a bottle opener. And then you've got guys that they have the wave. So Emerson's got the wave. And then, there's some guys that'll put a zip tie on the spider hole with Spyderco knives to make it so you can kind of wave the knife out. And then, if you have oversized thumb studs, you can at times, set it up just right and you can catch the edge of your pocket and you can kind of flip the knife open as you pull it out. Thumb studs on this were set up to be actually narrower than the frame and the blade or not the blade, but the the whole frame set as it's sandwiched together. So it was not obtrusive. It does not cause hot spots or anything like that. It doesn't interfere with sharpening. And forgive me, I'm gonna stand up here and pull my mic out of my pocket here, and I'm gonna show you how this works. So when you put it in your pocket, sits in the pocket just fine, no issue. You can pull it out, open it up, no problem. Easy cheesy. Or you can flip this out. Now, see, I'm like totally not good at this. And flick it out. So the trade-off there is I want to make sure that it doesn't just inadvertently open up when you pull it out of your pocket. So, you have to make things unobtrusive enough to where it doesn't, just do it inadvertently. It only does it when you want it to. So when you pinch grip this and push it out against your pocket, you can flick it open real easy. So let me put my mic back in. And you know what? I'm not even going to cut the whole fumble there where I didn't get it open, because, you know, that'll show you right there that it's not going to just do it inadvertently. You know, and that's always a big thing. You don't want a knife opening in your pocket. You don't want to have inadvertent cutting of something that you don't plan on cutting. You know, your negligent discharge, so to speak, like in the firearms industry. So, Sumo. Let's get into specifications. So, like I said, 3 1/4 inch blade, 1/8 inch blade stock. Let me double check that. Actually, we're 5/32 blade stock on that one. I totally spaced that one out. I'd just been talking about the sliver in the last video that did, so it threw me off. 5/32 blade stock, 5/32 titanium frame. We have a 3-dimensional titanium backspacer that will be anodized. We're going to do two colors, blue and bronze. We know you guys like both of those colors, so we're going to do both. It's pocketed internally in stages to increase the strength of the knife but make it very light. Thumb studs are titanium. Like I said, it's got all of these different ways you can flick it, you can thumb flick it, you can slow roll it, or you can pocket flick it when you rip it out of your pocket. So super duper cool on that. We have a 3D machine pocket clip. That one still bugs me. I know you guys love 3D pocket clips, don't get me wrong. I do this for you because I love you guys, but I like a bent clip. I actually prefer a wire clip. I don't know why nobody agrees with me, but hey, I use the piss out of my knives, so I want something that's super non-intrusive and doesn't take away from the look of the knife. So I really struggle with doing 3D pocket clips, but I do them for you guys. So I spent a ton of time designing this pocket clip so that it does not, when you use the knife, it's not digging into your hand no matter how hard you grip. It's not like giving you a hot spot in your palm, either hand. That's really important. You know, and it's not just causing issues. It drives me nuts. 3D pocket clips are big and bulky, so it took me a while to design this. It really took me a while to get that kind of under control. So it took me quite a few revisions and prototyping and all that stuff to make sure that I could make a 3D machine pocket clip that was functional, didn't obtrude, but still looked cool. So hopefully I nailed that. You guys will have to let me know. Try to go fairly simple construction. It's just riding on bearings. Like I said, it's a button lock, which I really like button locks. They're very strong. I packed as much blade into this frame as I possibly could. Blade length 3 1/4. Overall length, we're looking at 7 1/4. So your handle length is 4 inches, just about on the nose. It's like 4 1/16. So, you know, you don't have a great deal of difference between the handle length and the blade length. So I'll hold this up so you can kind of see it, and hopefully the video will be clear enough that you can zoom in. And if not, I will put some B-roll up here and get that in there. Yeah, so this is the Sumo, guys. I sure hope you enjoy this. We'll do some more pictures and video, so you guys will be seeing this stuff coming. You know, a couple other sneak peeks. We do have the kitchen knives that we are rocking and rolling. Very traditional Japanese style blade shapes. Our handles set up carbon fiber. Long time collaborating on coatings and how we made these knives function with professional chefs and collaborators who could help us, you know, understand the whole kitchen knife industry. We've done quite a few custom kitchen knives over the years, but really wanted our first production kitchen knife line to be one that would just knocked out of the park. So we're doing a 3-knife set. Got a Sentoku and a smaller, I can't remember the names. I want to say Naiti, but I don't think that's right. But we're going to do a separate video here shortly on these guys. Look forward to that. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. I don't know if it's on that side or if it's on that side. No idea. I'm not very good at this stuff, but smash the subscribe. Watch these videos to completion, because I'm really getting tired of seeing you guys only watching like 3 minutes of these videos. If I'm going to take all this time to do this editing, I expect you guys to watch these videos to completion. Do you understand me? Okay, that's my best dad voice. That's all I've got. So, hey, thanks guys. Really appreciate you. Make sure you head over to our website, It's www.jakehobackknives.com. Go over to our Instagram. Make sure you're following us, liking our pictures, commenting. Comment down below. Make sure you're subscribing to this YouTube channel because we've got tons of awesome stuff coming out this year. Really hope you guys are staying safe, taking care of yourselves and your families with all this pandemic stuff. Stay safe. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.